Hello everyone. In this video, I will explain the concepts of joins that you use in SQL. So I'm going to take you through a brief example that's going to make it very easy to understand what are joins. So let's get started. So let's say you have these two tables. We have rep table and we have customer table. So rep is the representative that is representing a customer. So rep is a parent table and customer here is a child table, and we see that rep id is appearing in the child table, customer table, as a foreign key here. Okay, so often than not you want to join these two tables and create unified uh, unified table, okay, that joins these two tables. So in nutshell, we are going to join these two tables. For example, the first thing we will look at here is the inner join. So let's say let's say that you want to fetch customer ID, customer name, rep ID, rep name for every customer that was represented by a rep. Okay, so we want to fetch the customer ID, customer name, rep ID, and rep name for all the customers that have those are represented by a rep. So that means we will not be interested in this last two records here. And this is the way you can write the join using SQL. Okay, so here what we're gonna do here, we're gonna say select I'm using C as an alias for customer. So you can see that customer is being represented by C here. Customer is being represented by C here, and rep is being represented here using R as an alias. So we need to, it's always good to qualify um, table names with the table alias. So we're gonna say C dot cust ID, which means C is the customer table and customer ID is the field in that table. So that's a notion we're gonna use going forward. So we're gonna select C dot cust ID, C dot cust name, R dot rep ID, R dot rep name. We're gonna select this four fields, three from here and one from here, and then we're gonna specify the table name from customer C, and we're gonna inner join uh, rep R. Okay, so we're gonna inner join these two table on R dot rep ID equals C dot rep ID. So we always join on a foreign key. Keep that in mind. Okay. So this is the foreign key here. So we're gonna join C dot rep ID, or in other words, we can say that the C dot foreign key equals R dot primary key. Okay. So because it's a parent ID that always appears in the child table. That's something you have to keep in mind. And as a result, you will get only matching records. So non-matching records which are highlighted in yellow will not be displayed. It will only display first 6 customer and their associated rep ID and rep names. So this will be your result here. So this is what the inner join does. Inner join sort of only fetches the matching records. Okay, that's something you have to keep in mind. Now the next thing is left outer join. So we're gonna continue with the same table. We have these two tables here. Okay, now let's say what we want to do is we want to not only match the means fetch the matching records, but we also want all the records from the rep table, irrespective of whether they have represented any customers or not, which means I want the first 6 customers, they have a matching rep IDs, plus I want these two reps here, even though they are not appearing in my customer table as a foreign key. Okay, so they are not representing any customer. So this is what you're gonna achieve using outer join. Now what is left outer join? Left outer join will always fetch all the records from the left table and only matching records from the right table. Okay, so this is our left table and this is our right table. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do here. So we're gonna say c.cust id, c.cust name, r dot rep id, r dot rep name from rep r, left outer join customer c on r dot rep id equals c dot ref id. So join will always be on, c dot foreign key equals r dot primary key. Okay, because we are always connecting primary key with the foreign key here. That's something you have to keep in mind. Now, so what this is gonna do is gonna fetch all the matching record plus all the records from the left table for which there are no matching records. Okay, so it's gonna give us the first 6 matching records. Okay, plus is gonna give me R2 and R5. Because we asked for it. We said that, okay, give me all the records from the left table, um, irrespective of whether they are representing any customer or not. Plus, we also want all the matching records. So we want customer ID, customer name, rep ID, and rep name. Okay. Now, the left outer join here is a key here. Okay. So if you flip it, if you mention here customer C here, I'm just gonna do that here. Okay, just something you have to keep in mind. I hope I have enough space here. Yeah. So here, if I say, let's say I'm gonna flip this one, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna mention it here, and this I'm gonna mention first. If you do like this will change the meaning of left outer join, because now what is going to do is going to fetch all the records from the customer table and only matching records from the rep table. Okay, so that's something you have to keep in mind. So if you want to achieve the same result using this command here, so you better say right outer join. So that brings us to what is right outer join. Okay, so right outer join here in this case is gonna bring all the records from the rep table and only matching records from the customer table. Here, when you say left outer join, is gonna fetch all the records from rep table and only matching records from customer table. Something you have to keep in mind. Okay, so the left and the right depends on the query, okay, that you're writing. So that brings us to concept of right outer join, which I already explained, but let's go through it again in a simpler way here. So you have the same two tables, rep table and customer table, and rep ID is appearing as a foreign key here in the customer table. Rep table is my parent table and customer table is my child table. So I want to do right outer join. What I want to do here is I want to fetch all the matching records from these two table, plus I want to fetch all the customer records irrespective of whether they are represented by a rep or not. So that means I want these two uh, customer here as well. So what it will do is going to give us all the matching records based on primary key and foreign key relationship, plus is going to give me these two additional records for which there are no associated reps. Okay, so this is how you're going to write the query here. Now when you say right outer join, that means give me all the records from the right side of this query here. So it depends, again, as I explained earlier, on the command. Okay, not what is on the left side here and what is on the right side here. That's something you have to keep in mind. Okay, so this is how you would do it. Select c.cust id, c.cust name, r.rep id, r.rep name. From rep r, right outer join customer c on I'm gonna say parent dot primary key equals child dot foreign key. So r dot rep id equals c dot rep id. So rep id in the c table is a foreign key, rep id in the r table is a primary key. Something you have to keep in mind. Okay, now you can achieve the similar result using the left outer join, right, as I explained earlier. So I'm just gonna copy this one, and if I do like this here, okay, so I'm gonna say here, let's say customer C here. Okay, we're gonna say left outer join rep R, and it will produce the same result, because what it's gonna do is gonna fetch all the matching records plus all the records from the left side of this command here, the left side of the table mentioned in this command here, so it will give you the same result. So just something you have to keep in mind here. Okay, this is gonna work as well. Okay, so the third type of rather the fourth type of join is the self join. Okay, when you're joining a table to itself. Okay, so let's say you have a table here called employee. So you have employee ID, employee name, and the manager ID. So this manager ID is the manager of the employee listed here. For example, employee B has a manager called E7, which is employee G. So likewise you have this table here, right? So employee, if you see, E1 doesn't have any boss here, so he's the boss. He's a super boss. And then you have E7 and E8. They are having E1 as the boss, but they're also managing other employees, right? So let's say you want to fetch the employee ID, employee name, along with their manager ID and manager name. Okay, how would you do that? Because the problem here is the manager, they are managers, they themselves are the employees, so we don't need two tables, so everything is contained in one table. Okay, so this is our child table as well as this is our parent table as well. Okay, so what we do in this case is, if you want to find out the employee ID, employee name, manager ID, and manager name, we need to work with the concept of self joining table to itself. So the first step is dividing this table, or rather not dividing but duplicating this table into two tables. So you see that here I have two duplicates table. They are the same table, exactly same table. Okay, but here is what the trick is. Here I'm going to call this is the employee table, and I'm going to call this is the manager table. Again, they are the same table called employee, but they are just duplicate of each other. Okay, how am I going to represent this in the query? I'm going to say employee E, which means this is the employee table, and employee M, which means this is the manager table. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to say I will specify which one is a child table and which one is a parent table. So if the line goes like this, I'm saying that this is my parent table, which is the manager, because one manager can manage many employees, and each employee is managed by exactly one manager. And this is my child table. And as I said earlier, whenever you write the query, it's basically, parent dot primary key equals child dot foreign key. That's the relationship we're gonna keep in mind. So this is how you're gonna do that here. So you're gonna say employee ID, employee name, manager ID, manager name. Okay, which you see carefully, right? So I'm just using alias here. So we created two duplicate tables, employee E and employee M. They are the same table, but here is a trick here. This is how I would join. I'm gonna say parent dot primary key equals child dot foreign key. So parent, in this case, I'm representing this one, manager table, and I'm going to say manager dot employee ID equals employee dot manager ID. This is a foreign key. So in a way, what you can do is when you create a duplicate tables, you can ignore the last, I would say, column of the parent table. Okay, so this, we don't need this column, and it might be confusing if it stays there. So you're creating two tables but ignoring the last column of the parent table. If you do that, then it becomes very simple. Here I'm just doing the regular one-to-many relationship here, where we have a parent table with the manager ID and manager name, and child table with employee ID, employee name, and manager ID, and then you connect that. So again, we're going to connect how we're going to take the parent table primary key connected with the child table foreign key. So here I'm going to say m dot employee ID equals e dot manager ID, but they are the same table again. So this is how we're going to differentiate here by creating aliases. Okay, and this will produce this result here, as you see here. So it's going to give me all this records here. Okay, and along with, it's going to give me the employee ID, I mean the manager ID and manager name. Okay, so this could again be written using the concept of inner join. This is the way it works in Oracle, but you can write the similar query using inner join. The concept we discussed here is going to produce the same result. Okay, and how to do that? we're gonna do here, so we're gonna copy this one here. Okay, so we're gonna say here inner join employee M, and then we're just gonna say here on, and that is it. It is that simple here. Okay, so say make it. Okay, so this is how, just to show you, okay, let's see. Just want to show you everything in one go. Okay, this is how it will look here. Okay, so this concepts are very simple. My whole focus was to make sure that you understand the concepts of inner join, left outer join, and right outer join, and I hope I accomplished that objective here. We also discussed the self join. So with this, I will conclude my video here. Thank you very much for listening.